Hello and welcome to my channel, Rise Up Diabetic Health. My name is Alyssa. I have been type 1 diabetic for over 9 years now, and I am also a performance coach. So I have a ton of clients that I work with, developing their strength training programs, but also helping them with behavior change and learning how to basically optimize their life and living with diabetes. So today I thought it would be something fun to talk about is as I work with so many clients, and specifically with strength training, it can be a very intimidating topic and something that can be difficult to get into and know how to do it correctly. So today I want to talk about 4 things that I think are crucial to getting the most out of your strength training. First of all, I think it's important to talk about why strength training is important, especially as a diabetic. It is something that I have found for myself and my clients that it does increase insulin sensitivity, which ultimately means you need less insulin with better blood sugar control. And it also can help increase muscle mass as well as fat loss. And then something that's kind of overlooked, but strength training honestly is the key to having a better quality life. The better mover that you are, the more often you do those movements and do them correctly, the less injury that you experience. And that can overall just help increase your quality of life. The first way that we are going to talk about is understanding core engagement and body awareness. So this is something that is really important with strength training and just moving in your daily life. When you hear core engagement or abs, people just automatically think about having ripped, shredded abs, and that's what it means to have a strong core, which is completely false. Like, you can still have a strong core and be ripped, but also you can have a strong core and still not have a toned, defined stomach. So that is not what I am referring to when I talk about core engagement. Core engagement is going to be that connection from your upper body to your lower body. So really, in any movement that you are doing with your strength training, you want to incorporate core engagement. So in this first video here, I have a deadlift. So one of the most common things I see as a performance coach when people are performing movements is the ribs tend to be pointing up, which indicates to me that they are not doing a great job of engaging their core. So let's take a look at this video for me setting up to do a deadlift. You'll notice when I first set up, I am tucking my rib cage down, which is going to ideally help my hips, the line of my hips, and the line of my rib cage to be parallel. So this is just something that is important to be aware of in all movements that you are doing, especially like an overhead press is very common as well. People tend to flare their ribs, and then that allows them to press overhead. But at the cost of everything is kind of getting out of alignment, and then you're putting yourself more at risk for injury. So you might be asking, okay, so I need to increase my core engagement, but how do I do that? So here are a few movements that I like to incorporate for myself and my clients that really can help kind of get that body awareness and learn what it feels like to tuck your rib cage down. So first example here, we have a dead bug. You'll notice that I'm tucking that rib cage down, keeping that spine neutral as I move my legs and my arms. Again, same thing with this single leg lower. Now our legs are just in a different position. Another one that you can do is the floor slides. So this is the one where my arms are pressing overhead. And again, I'm still trying to maintain that neutral spine, keeping my core engaged. And I want that line of my rib cage and my hips to be parallel to each other. Okay, so number 2 is going to be focusing on slow and controlled reps. So a lot of times I see people in the gym or clients that I'm working with, they look as though they're trying to get through the reps as fast as they can, usually doing, weights that they probably shouldn't be doing, they can't even control. And this is where I think it's important to take a step back, slow down that movement, and really focus on muscle engagement. So this is where time under tension comes into play. The more time you put your muscles under that tension with the weight, no matter what exercise you're doing, you're going to allow your muscles to have that proper stimulus for muscle breakdown, and then ultimately that is what is going to help you gain strength in the long run. And also, as you're performing those reps a little bit slower, you should find that it's easier to kind of dial in and focus on the muscles that you are actually trying to work. All right, in this bent over row, for example, you can tell that I'm moving through the rep slowly and with purpose. All right, so number 3 is focusing on quality reps versus quantity of reps. So this is something that I think is very common, and people tend to think that the more reps they do, the more results they are going to see, which is ultimately not true. I always tell my clients, I would rather see you do 2 really good reps versus 10 so-so or crappy reps, because you're gonna get so much more out of those 2 good reps where you had good form, good core engagement, slow controlled reps, versus just doing 10 reps where you're not even really focusing on anything. All right, so we've got this first exercise here. It's a high plank shoulder tap. So in the first video, I'm performing those reps pretty well, I would say. I'm not really having any shift in my hips. You can tell my core engagement is good. Everything looks pretty solid. Now in this next video, you can see my hips are shifting. I'm just not like getting good core engagement there. So this is a perfect example of do as many as you can without your hip shifting, and then once you can't do those anymore, you start to feel things in your lower back or anywhere that you shouldn't be feeling it, stop. And then obviously another super common example is going to be the bicep curl, and this is a perfect example of, we want to focus on that slow controlled rep and make sure our weight isn't shifting. So you'll see in this first video, everything is slow, controlled, and tight. And then the second video, my hips are shifting. I'm trying to create momentum because the weight is too heavy for me. So I should ideally go down in weight, and then again, just focus on doing as many quality reps as I can. All right, and number 4 is to keep it simple. I think, especially with social media these days, it's so easy to scroll through and see all these crazy workouts, and you think like, wow, I need to be doing that to be able to look like them or achieve the results that they have. So in my experience and the knowledge that I have learned throughout my degree and getting my strength and conditioning specialist certification, I've learned that sticking to the basics is what is ultimately going to give you the best results. So focusing on these 5 basic movements. So it's going to be a hinge, a squat, a push, pull, and a carry. All right, so a hinge focus movement is going to be a deadlift, squat, single leg deadlift, and then a squat movement, obviously it says it in the word, it's gonna be any form of a squat. So it could be front squats, goblet squats, back squats. We could also do lunges in that, or elevated split squats. So there are lots of variations. And then the next is going to be a pull. So this is going to be your rows, your lat pull downs, and it also focuses on the biceps as well. And then we have a press, so you're gonna have your bench press, shoulder press, and also triceps are included in there too. And then finally we have the carry. So this is something that helps reinforce grip strength, also posture as well. So why are these movement patterns so important is the fact that they mimic the things that we do in our daily life. So if you think about when you have to go down to pick something up off the ground, or if you're carrying your groceries into the house, like those are all things that translate exactly to what you are doing in the gym with those 5 basic movement patterns. All right, so that is going to wrap up the video for today. I hope all the information was helpful and you have now found some new ways to optimize your strength training program to hopefully see the results that you're hoping to see. Check out my website at riseupdiabetichealth.com for more information. I am also taking on some online clients, so if you are interested, you can go ahead and fill out a client intake form on there, and then I will reach out to you to get started. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and like this video, and I will see you again soon.